text? Yes. Okay, I just did. Gotcha. Cool. All right, I got 7:35. Why don't we get started? Let me see. Webinar Jam Studio. Here's the room. Okay, 16 people. You know what? That's a really good start. So let's see how this goes. So you guys, thank you all for being here and doing this. I thought it might be kind of fun. You know, after Carrie and I worked together in the telecom business, and that's why I asked Carrie to go through this earlier with me today, because he was my director of applications. So he gave so many presentations like this, but they were all live. And so I wanted to make sure that hopefully we're covering things that are relevant to you guys. This is a very basic level thing. So if you're advanced in social media, you're going to be really bored. So I hope that's not the case, but I'll know when you start dropping off. But it's just kind of like, hey, how do you get started? What are some tips and tricks? What's important? And we'll go from there. So let me get back to my PowerPoint presentation. All right. So thank you again for being here. We've got 16 people here. And Carrie, I'm just going to open up my chat here just in case there's a problem. And hopefully you'll let me know. Hang on one second. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about a little bit is social media. And I thought, you know, maybe we would just start with the basics, which is, you know, like a definition. And so we'll go through in this little program, that the webinar that we'll do tonight is what is social media? Why should you use it? Which platforms should you use, or which ones would I recommend just based on my small knowledge of your business? How do I get started with it? How do I do it? Is it a lot of work to maintain it and keep it going? And then I'll give you a guided tour of a couple of apps that I recommend that you use. And I've got them brought up in another browser. So there's a little bit of shifting around here. This is not super smooth on this webinar, but I'll show you my screen, and I'll show you some of the things that on my social media accounts that I do, and some of the things that pop up. And hopefully nobody's posting anything too crazy or too risque, because I've got some pretty nutty friends. So let's do that. So first of all, what is social media? If you go to wikipedia.net, social media are computer-mediated tools that allow people to create, share, or exchange information, ideas, and pictures and videos in virtual communities and networks. So, I mean, there are so many different social media platforms that are out there. Your voice is delayed in covering everything you say. Oh. Okay. So let me just wait, and I'll try to talk slowly. Hopefully this goes with the screen okay. But with social media, there's so many platforms. You've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube is social media, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and I'm sure some of you people are using some of these networks, if not, you know, all of them. And if you're not using any, well, then this is going to be kind of fun. And I'll slow down my speech just a little bit, Carrie. I tend to get talking too fast, so thanks for the feedback. Okay, so why should you use it? And I got to tell you, I think first of all, it's because it's free. I like that a lot. It really is, if you look at the bottom bullet point, old methods of advertising are fading and expensive. It really is replacing a lot of things. And I don't know how maybe you've got your business in the past. My gut tells me that a lot of you salon professionals get your business from referrals, which is great. This gives you an online capability to share your work, to show people what you're doing, and also for other people to go, hey, you know, I'm using Carla and I think she's amazing, and here's what she does. And so when you put stuff out there in social media, it gets shared. So it becomes viral. The second bullet point, people share stuff that they like, other people see it, and before you know it, you get calls and you've got people that are, you know, saying, hey, you know, can I get an appointment? It becomes an online referral network. And again, you guys can share testimonials. You'll get customers that can share, you know, they can write nice things. You can get feedback from customers on, you know, gosh, I went to see Debbie, but, you know, gosh, she seems like she's always running behind. And you go, how can I change my schedule so that I'm operating a little bit more efficiently, or maybe putting a little buffer in between appointments or stuff like that. Okay, so you know what platforms would be good for me? I would really like to know, and I'm going to try to go back to the chat thing here, just to see. You know, I would guess most everybody here is on Facebook. Got to be, right? I'm going to enable the chat box and see what happens here. But my guess is most of you guys are on Facebook. It tends to be a generation. I mean, Carrie's on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. My kids are not on Facebook because they go, "Hey, Dad, that's because all our parents are on Facebook." So it's kind of funny. But Facebook is really a great way. You know, it's a great way to share articles and share what other people are doing. And I'll show you what my feed looks like, and I'll show you a little bit about some groups that I've joined that help me get information and share information. If you're not doing Facebook groups, you'll want to kind of stick around for that piece. Instagram also is really cool. It seems like if you think Facebook, if there's too much information on Facebook, Instagram really is all about photographs and about videos and sharing, sharing photos, sharing videos. And then what's cool about Instagram, which is why I recommend you really probably take a look at it, of all the social media platforms out there, I find these three, the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, to be pretty much the easiest ones to use. And Instagram is really cool because when you post a picture or you post a short video, like maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, when you post it, it asks you if you also want to post on Facebook and if you also want to post on Twitter at the same time, which is a really cool feature because now you're hitting 3 networks with one, with one post. So pretty cool option there. You know, YouTube, if you decide that you want to shoot more videos and do stuff like, I've done some selfie videos when I was traveling recently in Macau and Hong Kong. I did one when I was in England last week. And so I'll do some of those just little short selfie videos, and I'll post them on YouTube just to show people, hey, I'm traveling, this is a business lifestyle, this is an entrepreneurial lifestyle. And you can shoot selfies of that, or you could shoot quick videos of maybe clients if you've just done a facial on somebody, or if you've just done someone's hair and you're proud of it. So YouTube becomes another whole animal though, and it's a little bit more to learn. What's cool about YouTube, however, is that if you have a website that you're driving people to, or maybe an appointment calendar that you want to drive people to, you can put links in YouTube for that. And then you can shoot your video, post your video, and you might want to do it of like a hairstyle that you just did or something like that. And people can find it and search it. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world behind Google, and that's because it's owned by Google. So we'll talk a little bit about tagging and hashtags and things like that. But YouTube's pretty awesome, and it helps. I said here, if you've got a website, it helps with the SEO. Carrie, I want to do a quick check-in with you on chat real quick. Let me go back over to the side. I know I'm moving my screen around. You guys should all be able to see me moving my screen and the cursor. Carrie, are we still doing well? Just shoot me a quick chat message or enable your mic and let me know. There's a little bit of a delay between when I'm speaking and what you guys are hearing.
Hey, we're good.
Okay, awesome. Just want to make sure it's going well. Thanks, Carrie. So that's about how long the delay is, guys, probably 20 seconds. Okay, and then Carrie and I were looking earlier, there's another tool. So when you decide on these social media platforms, and you think, okay, well, I don't want to go to each one, right? I don't want to go to Facebook and post a picture, and I don't want to then go to Instagram and post one and make comments, and then go to Twitter after that, and then go to maybe Google Plus or go to LinkedIn if you're on that platform. Then I discovered a while back a platform called, or a software tool called HootSuite, and Edgar is another one, and I've got both of those there on the slide. HootSuite is kind of like a central posting house. It's pretty cool. So the concept of HootSuite is you go into this website And then you allow it to access your other social media platform. So it kind of becomes like a command central, if you will. And I'll show it to you in a second. But HootSuite allows you to post one time and send it, and then it automatically sends out to all of your platforms. So you cover a lot of ground with one post. It's a little bit more complex to administer. Takes a little while to get all your social media links hooked up to it, but I'll show you how mine looks. And if you're interested in it, then you can shoot me an email or something, and I'll spend a little time and show you. Edgar, meetedgar.com. Edgar's just a competitor to HootSuite, different flavor, same idea. Okay, but and then most importantly, depending on your social media, if you're thinking about adding another platform, what I would let guide me is, what are my customers using? Where are they active on social media? So if you're treating, elderly women, they might be on Facebook. It's maybe a little less likely they're on Instagram. And then Twitter's a strange animal. It really is. Twitter is such a huge, very quick news feed. And I've heard it described like this, that if Facebook is a nice cocktail and dinner, and Instagram is kind of like a happy hour, Twitter's like a speed dating thing. It's super quick. You're limited to very short messages and bursts. And it's kind of like with Twitter, I find it hard to really get used to, but I jump on there. I check in every now and then. Maybe I'll post some stuff on Twitter. Most of the posting that I do is on HootSuite, which I'll get to in a little bit. But with Twitter, it's almost like you jump in, you see what's happening at that moment because you're bored, or you're sitting in an appointment waiting for something, and then you pop back off. So Twitter seems to be very quick, very instantaneous. The life of a tweet, if you will, is very short relative to a Facebook post. So there's just so much more activity and so much more stuff flowing through Twitter. But I think they're also shorter bursts, and you just don't get the attention and the time that you might like. So, I think for this crowd, for you guys and knowing the business that you're in, I would expect that you'd spend a lot of time taking photographs of someone's hair that you just did, like a before and after might be really cool, or a facial, or some of the other, nails, other things that you do, and show, hey, here's a new design I'm working on, or here's a new idea, or if you're thinking about a new hair design, here's what's popular in Hollywood. I mean, I can imagine some of the questions that you guys get. But ask your customers. This is the key. And in any business endeavor, I always ask my customers, what do you guys use for social media? And it used to be when Carrie and I were in telecom and traditional media, I'd ask the customers, what do you read? What kind of magazines do you read? What trade shows do you go to? Because you always want to go where the customer is and where their friends are, so that they can do referrals and they can recommend you and stuff like that. Okay, I probably talked too long on this one, but that's a lot about the platforms. So how do I get started? So you probably have a business email address, and it might be at your website.com, or it might be yahoo.com or gmail.com. And what I really would recommend that you do is get yourself a different email address for your social media stuff. Yes, it's a little bit more of a hassle to now have another email address, but usually with these email addresses, you can have them so that they automatically forward. So like, my Business by Day stuff, which is my business consulting website. You can email Rick at Business by Day. You can email Rick at SC Yachts or South Coast Yachts for the boat dealership. You can email Rick at steadfastfinance.com, which is another business that I own, and they all drop into my Gmail account. So I would recommend, if you're going to get active in social media and you're not already, set up a free email account, because all of a sudden you start getting pummeled with information, and I'll get to that in a second in terms of the settings and the notifications. So how do you get started? First thing you do, if you got an iPhone, search the App Store and decide, try one or try two or three. If I'm in your shoes, I probably would start with Facebook if you're not already on there, and then I might go to Instagram, and then Twitter might be my third choice. But go to the App Store, download the app. If you're with Android, if you got an Android phone and an LG or a Samsung or something like that, go to the Play Store, and that's where you're going to find the stuff. So you download the app, and then so you've created a free email address online, either on your computer and or on your phone. You go to the App Store, go to the Play Store, and then the first thing I would do is get the mobile app for the email, the free email that I just set up. So on my phone in particular, I've got a Gmail account, I've got a Yahoo account. I tend to use my Yahoo stuff for all my personal email, and then as I was discussing earlier, the business accounts all drop into my Gmail account. So I pop on in the morning and I check my Yahoo mail because it's all personal, and then I kind of turn it off for a while during the day because I just want to do my business stuff, and so then I work strictly out of Gmail for the day. So get the email app for your phone, because that's where most of this stuff is going to happen. It's really easy, and set it up. So the second thing is then download the social media app. Get your Facebook app, get your Instagram app, get your Twitter app, and load that on your phone. And as you sign up for these social media apps, what's really cool is a lot of times they'll ask for permission to your address book. And when you do that, and they get permission for the address book, they're going to look through your address book, and they're going to see if other people in your address book have Facebook accounts, if they have Instagram accounts, if they have Twitter accounts. And it's a great place to start, because then an invitation goes out to all those people and it says, hey, Deborah just joined Instagram. Do you want to follow her? Or Jim just joined Facebook. Would you like to be his friend? And in Facebook, do you have other friends that you might suggest that Jim connect with? So it's a really cool feature on a lot of these things, and it's really important to pay attention in the beginning. But if you want to fill up those followers quickly, then yeah, absolutely. Give the app access to your emails or to your address book, and let it go out and add those people. And most of those people are going to say yes. And they have the option, so it makes it nice. The last point that I would make about each app is that they have settings, and you need to spend a little bit of time with each app kind of figuring out the settings, because so for example, Facebook is one of the ones that I use the most. It's got these settings on your that pop up. It's like, do you want to be notified every time somebody likes something that you posted? Or do you want to be notified every time somebody likes something that you were tagged in? Or do you want to be notified every time somebody sends you a message? And that's another thing. You're likely to get messages through. You can definitely get direct messages through Twitter. You can get direct messages through Facebook, which requires even another app that you download. So spend a little time on the sharing rules, the notifications, and you're going to find that all in the settings tab. Usually it looks like on Android, it looks like a little gear, right? But spend some time there, and also on privacy, so you can limit who can see some of the stuff that you share. So definitely spend a little time with these apps and doing that. All right, hopefully I'm doing okay. Carrie, let me check in with you again real quick, and I'll wait 20 or 30 seconds for you to respond with this delay, but I want to make sure the screen's good, the audio's good.
It's good. It's good to me. You might want to check with everybody else.
Okay. I am having a little bit of a difficult time with the chat. Let me go back to webinar, because chat seemed like it was going okay for a little while. Oh, is there a way you can archive this webinar and we can watch it later? Nicole was asking. She says she's getting 20 seconds of audio and then the feed is out for a few minutes. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so what's going to happen is this webinar is being recorded on YouTube. And so what I'll do is after it gets recorded, I'll check it out, make sure it's good, and then I will share with you guys the YouTube link so you can go back and watch it. Okay, so let me keep rolling on the screen share real quick. So how do you maintain social media? What's important about it? Well, there are a couple things. One is Okay. You know what, Nicole? It could be, I'm looking, it says I'm stuck on what platforms would be good for me slide. Sometimes, Nicole, it's on my end with internet connectivity and internet speed. Sometimes it's on your end. It's just hard to tell. So best thing is, I think this whole thing is just recorded. Okay, so how do I maintain it? Is it a lot of work? I think one of the things that,
Hey, Rick.
yeah.
Just FYI, we can send this PowerPoint out to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So, these are just bullet points too. So they're going to be, there's a lot of stuff I'm covering related to the bullet points, but I'm happy to send this out. But here are some key points about social media. One is that regularity is more important than volume. So in other words, it's better for you to say, okay, I'm going to do a few tweets on, every day, or I'm going to do Facebook posts and show some of my work, or Instagram posts and show some of my work 3 days a week. It's more important to do it that way than it is to say, I'm going to do it 1 day a month and I'm going to spend all day on social media. Because people are popping in and out of social media, and you never know when people are going to be there and when they're not. And so you have a greater likelihood if you do a little bit every day. And then you can ask your customers, when do they check social media? Is it evenings? Is it mornings? And then you can kind of tailor your stuff to that. But it's more important to spread it out and be consistent with your posts than it is to dump everything like 1 day a week. Content is king. People want to see stuff that's relevant to them. They want to see photos of your work, short video clips. If you got a good article on, a product that you use, that, they want to know that. If you have somebody who has an opinion or does a testimonial, share that with them if you've got helpful hints. So, put some thought into this and think about, what does your audience want to see? And again, ask them, but try to provide things of value. It's really, really important. And then interaction as well. I mean, occasionally when you jump onto social media, you got to remember it's not just an advertising platform. It's not all about you. It's about, sharing information. And so if you've got, people that you work with, then you can reshare their stuff. You can like their stuff. You can make comments on their stuff. So, be sure to spend a little time. Don't just go and dump all of your information and be like, oh, that's great. And hey, I wonder why nobody ever responds to me. Well, you got to spend a little bit of time responding to other people, being encouraging. I really like that photo. Oh, that was a great article. Like it, share it, that kind of thing. And there's another really cool thing that I've just started using, and I know it's been around forever, but I'm an older guy, so I learn slower. But hashtags are a big deal. And if you have a website that you drive people to, or again, the calendar application that you drive people to, so hashtags might be, if you're a stylist, you might go, hashtag hairstyle, or hashtag hair color, or hashtag, new haircut, or, something like that. So that when people go searching for information on social media, and if you sign up for Twitter, for example, it's a great example. There's a search bar at the top. Same thing in Facebook. And, Carrie knows this too, because we're on Facebook quite a bit. But, you can search for new hairstyle. And anybody who has hashtagged new hairstyle as a phrase, their post is going to come up. So think about phrases that people might search to find you on, and then do a hashtag, the pound sign, and then type that phrase. And it just gives the people another way to be able to find you via searching. And all of a sudden you'll find yourself, people liking your site, or liking your Facebook page, or liking your Instagram posts, or, commenting or retweeting for you on Twitter. And you don't even know who they are, but it's because they found you via search. So these can become search engines in a small way. And then if you have a website, always list the link to your website. And you don't have to do www. I always just put in a lot of my posts, businessbyday.com. And the social media is smart enough to know That's a website, and then it highlights it, and then it's just a link that they can click on, and then they can go straight to your website. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, so let's do a couple virtual tours here. Let me share another screen with you. And again, this might be a little clunky. I'm going to close my, my thing here. Screen share. Start screen share. Let me go to Explorer. I'm going to go to my Facebook page because it's kind of active. And again, I hope nobody's posting stupid stuff on there because I got a lot of fun friends. Okay, let's go to Facebook. Okay, so here's Facebook on the screen share. And this is just a basic layout. I'm not going to tell you all about, all my friends and blah, blah, blah. But, just if you're not familiar with Facebook, what's cool about it is this is typically what shows up. So here's my profile page, right? So I'm a Ferrari fan. There's Tamara and me over in England, and I'm just sharing some information about that. And here are people that have posted. So here's like my wall. Here's some friends. I got a lot of friends, 609 friends. That's cool. So anyway, but if you click the home button, this is what is known as your news feed. And all your friends are on here. I mean, I've often told people about Facebook. What I like about Facebook is it's the best news I get all day because it's all fun stuff that my friends are doing that they want me to see, right? So then you can just kind of scroll down, right, and look at these different things. Here's Vicky. She just had open heart surgery. She's a friend of mine from high school. Here's my buddy Dave. He's trying to lose weight. So he just, Monday night workout. Here's a buddy of mine that runs a podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire. He's killing it in that world. So these are just people and pages that, here's the Harley Riders page. So these are just people and friends and pages that you're interested in that are pretty cool. One of the cool things about Facebook, and I'm not going to get into Facebook advertising, which you can clearly do. Facebook advertising shows up on the right, and it shows up in people's news feeds. And so if you ever want to get into that, it can be pretty effective, but I think for the most part, it's more for like people that are running consulting businesses and stuff like that. But look at other pages. So for example, pages that you that are favorites, and these are kind of fun. Like here's, let me pick one. Here's Business Unleashed. So this is a business Facebook group that I happen to like. Real life skills for business skills for consultants, creatives, and coaches. And so here's a discussion about CRM and contact management. So anyway, there are many different groups on Facebook and favorites. And these are just things that you got to spend some time poking around. But again, you go back to that search mechanism that I was talking about earlier, and you do a search on business. Let me show you that. And you just type in business, or let's type in salon. So you type in salon, and Phenix Salon Suites Rancho Bernardo comes up first, of course, for me. But if you just search on salon, oops, you can see Phenix Salon Suites. Here's Michael Joseph Salon and Spa. Here's Salon as a news media website, Salon Today, Salon Vivace, Salons of Greatness, Mentoring and Business Services. So this is, and then you can search on nail salons. So searching mechanism is pretty cool. So that's why I always say, go back to the hashtag stuff. Oh, here's a buddy of mine that's been sailing and he posts some stuff. Pages. These are pages that I have liked, pages that I have, like Beneteau Cup is a regatta that I put on every year. So there's a picture of that. Let me see. One other thing I want to show you on this, and then we'll move on pretty quick. Let me see. Apps I'm not too interested in really. Favorites. Here's, Phenix Salon Suites, right? Ship of Fools is a great group of people that I go scuba diving all the time with. Internet marketing, super friends. So tips and tricks on internet marketing. So you may find some of these groups online, salon professionals, hairstylist professionals, and you just go, hey, I want to join the group, and they accept you. And then there's tips and tricks, and you guys can help each other with product and technique and tools and all kinds of cool stuff there. And then on the right-hand side, you've got your people that have recently posted, and then people that are online right now. So if I want to chat with Sue, I can click on Sue, and she's awesome. And then here up comes a little messaging box. So a whole new way of communicating. It's pretty cool. All right, so that's it for Facebook. Let me do one for Twitter real quick. So here's a tweet. And there's some crazy stuff that comes through here. I started following people on Twitter because I started doing searches on consultants. So I'm going to do a quick search on, let's do hairstyle. Hairstyle, right? So look at this. Here, so you can do hairstyle men, hairstyle, you can do hairstyle men, you can do hashtag hairstyles. Let's click on that. So it does this search, and I'm sucking up bandwidth with this webinar, so it's kind of slow. Let's give it a second. Okay, I'm going to go back because I'm impatient. Hairstyle. Let's do a search there. And so these are top posts on hairstyles. Wow, there you go. Right? And so you may find that here's kind of digging this hairstyle. You know, there's just all kinds of stuff, but this is just a search. And so what you may find is that you like this and you say, okay, well, I guess the hairstyle I'll have for the rest of my life. This hairstyle is precious. View the photo. And if you like what Starbucks Scully has to say, then you can click there and follow her. So anyway, I started following people on Twitter with business consulting and entrepreneur and stuff like that. And it's going to be really, you know, very custom to what you do. But again, this is a very quick news feed. Let me go back to my home page and it will say, okay, what's happening? It's asking me if I want to tweet about something. I've got 3 notifications. So that means there are 3 things. Oh, 3 people followed me. Some people favorited a tweet that I did. Somebody retweeted something that I did. So all of this stuff is viral and this information just goes out like crazy. And you just know, you know, here's some people that are suggested for me to follow. So that in general is, here, I'll click on my profile. And when you set up your profile, these are kind of cool. You can always add a picture. Here's my business by day thing, design, build, manage, grow your business. Here's a little picture of me. And then here's a list of all the tweets that I've done. Most of them are little quotes and stuff like that. Carrie and I did this one this afternoon. Carrie, remember, we did this afternoon and it was awesome Monday, kick butt, got a ton done, love work days like this. And you were saying, well, hey, how come you did your website in there? That link right there takes you to my website. And it pops up in Twitter. So if somebody likes what you have to say and you put a link in there to your scheduling application or to your website and they click on that, then, and I'm not going to do it because I'm using enough bandwidth as it is, that would go straight to your website. All right. So let's look at Instagram real quick. This is kind of funny. Washing your car in the rain is about as useful as Anne Frank's drum set. When you're mad at your chick and look for any reason to get out of the house, the guy's washing the car in the rain. Awesome. Let me do a reload here because that's an old one. So Instagram is just, here's a buddy of mine, Rick Barker. He's in Tennessee. He's a music coach. He was Taylor Swift's first music coach and manager. But cool guy. There's some, okay, there you go. Never mind. I'm going to pass through that real quick. There's the mad at your chick thing. So what's important about, and this is a buddy of mine who's reflooring his house and he's proud of the job that he's doing. What's important about Instagram, again, is that you're doing photos, you're doing videos, and essentially it's the cool, what I like about posting on Instagram, and I can't really show it to you, is that if you download it on your phone and you snap a picture and then you hit the picture and you say share, which is that funny little V-shaped button, and then it gives you a choice and you share it on Instagram. It brings up the Instagram application, and then before you publish it, it says, would you like to also share on LinkedIn and on Twitter? And this is so key because unlike HootSuite, which I'm about to show you, which is pretty complicated, Instagram is so cool because I think most of what you're going to be doing is photographs and videos and, short videos. You got to keep them short. Otherwise they're too big and they hog up too much bandwidth. But you're going to end up sharing stuff that, you're creating. I mean, you guys are artists. So you're going to end up showing your creative work, and then you can automatically hit Twitter and automatically hit Facebook at the same time. So I'm just thinking that from my knowledge of social media, that's where I'd go first. Okay. So that's Instagram. That's my pitch there. There's a guy proud of his hat, been working out, blah, blah, blah. Let me see if there's something else. Buddy of mine, this is a short video of a buddy of mine racing on a 100-foot sailboat. And I could click here. I won't do it for you on the webinar, but it's just a picture of them jamming along at high speed and having fun. Okay, so HootSuite is kind of the last one. Oh, snoozing. Okay, wake up. HootSuite is an interesting thing. So this is kind of command central, like I talked about before, for social media. And it's got a lot of tools over here on the left-hand side. So you've got a publisher, you've got analytics where you can run analytics and see how many, clicks you're getting, how many people that you're reaching. It's much, much more sophisticated. But in essence, what you do is you come in here to home and you go, okay, you start with your first tab and then you say, okay, I'm going to add a social network. So you click on that and see, I have Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, all added to my social networks, right? And if I want to add more, then I can add more. But I mean, it's probably enough for everybody. So what happens then, and this is where I use it the most, I use it in two ways. And Carrie and I talked about this this afternoon. One is I go to publisher and I go, okay, I want to compose a message that you see at the top of my screen right now. And when I compose this message, and I'm going to keep the message short, just keeping in mind that Twitter is one of my networks. So you see right here, this is Twitter. This is one of my networks. Remember, I'm limited to 140 characters with Twitter. So if I post a whole paragraph here, it's only going to pick up the first sentence, or two. It's going to stop at 140 characters. And so people on Twitter are going to go, what is he talking about? So I always try to keep my posts on HootSuite really short. And then I'll add a link. And that might be my Business by Day website, or I might go, my message might be here, hey, check out Phenix Salon Suites. I'm doing a live webinar right now on social media. It's so cool. And then I might put the website here for, Phenix Salon Suites, or I might put the address for the Facebook page. And then it shortens the link, and you do auto schedule, and you do publish, and it goes. And it takes care of all those social media posts for you. It schedules them automatically, and then you're off to the next thing. So that's one way I use it, and it's really cool. The other way I use it is, and these are all my scheduled posts. So see, I've got posts that are going out tomorrow at 8:50, 9, 11:55, 12, 3:10, 5. I didn't do these. I did a bulk message upload. And what you can do with the bulk message upload, and this might be a little bit more than you guys really want to get into right now. If you want to, we can talk about it later. But you upload the CSV file. You upload an Excel file. So you open up Excel, you enter your data in this month, day, year, hour, minute format. You enter in your message. So what I would do here is in column A, I would enter it once, and then I would copy it 100 times. And then I would take my time and I would copy and paste quotes, like motivational quotes or things that I like to say to people or to customers. And then I put my link in here. I might put my link for my website in here and copy it and paste it all the way down. And then you upload this whole spreadsheet of like 100 items. I think I did 240 items of, popular quotes, motivational quotes, things like that. Uploaded it here, said submit, and it automatically schedules everything as I want it to go. And I do it like a month at a time, but it takes, 3 hours worth of work to do that. Okay, so that's a quick virtual tour of some pretty cool websites, the ones at least that I wanted to show you. Let me close this. I'm going to go stop the screen sharing. Let me go back here. Chat, screen share. Let me go back. I think I want to, no, I don't want to do the screen share. Carrie, can you see me now? I think I've stopped on the screen share. I'm going to wait for just a second. Okay.
Yeah, I see you, but I can only see my text. I can't see anybody else's.
Yeah, Carrie, on the left-hand side, I'm going to see if I can go back into the chat room. On the left-hand side, you should have a bar on the, do you have a control bar on the left?
I do.
Okay, so if you go down there, you'll see about the second or third one from the bottom. It says Webinar Jam Studio. It's a white one with a red lightning bolt.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can see that, that should bring up the chat room and all that stuff. Let me see if I got any questions.
View who's participant. View who's participant. View participant.
Okay, Carrie, I'm going to, let me mute the chat again. Tools, mute chat, all messages are public. So does anybody have any questions? Let me see how we're doing. Carrie, do you see questions in the chat box at all?
I don't.
I just posted one. Let me see. Lisa Miller says she lost me. Sonia, same here. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, I'm stuck on what platforms would be good for me. Awesome, that's great, Natalie says. So yeah, I think that's when I was talking about recording. Okay, I've still got 16 people on board. So if you guys can hear me, I still have Natalie, Liliana, Alyssa, Carla, Stephanie, Shelly, Elizabeth, Marcella, Missy, Nicole, Sue, Deborah, and even more. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything else that I can touch base with while I'm here? Or do you want to post something in the chat room? And if you don't have any questions, then maybe somebody would just say, no, we're good. And then I'll just be quiet and go eat dinner.
You're at the chat room. Click on them.
I can hear a woman talking. Somebody just laughed at my little go to dinner joke.
That's Diane.
Oh, is that Diane in the background?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't see anybody else with any questions. Gosh, we've been on an hour. I'll wait just a second. Carrie says I can only see my texts.
Just let everybody know that we'll be doing more of these.
Yeah, I mean, if it works and they like them, sure. Webinar Jam Studio 16 Live. I'm just going to hang in the chat room one more time and just see if anybody has any questions. The last comment that I have is Natalie, who said, that's great. Dennis said, that's awesome. Nicole said, I'm stuck on what platforms would be good for me. But this was some time ago. Broadcast the question. That's great. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, I think I'm down to 11. It says 11 viewers now. So some people have dropped off. Oh, here's 12 viewers. So people are popping back in. All right. Well, why don't we wrap up? I'm not seeing any new questions. Last chance. Carrie, did you find that button over to the left?
No, I can't find it. But
Okay.
you know what? We'll just we'll reconvene on site.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And then what I'll do too is when this thing posts to YouTube is I'll grab the link and then you could send it out in another email. But let me look at it first and see if it records well or if some of the, because I can't tell if some of the technical problems are on my end or if they're on the far end. But if it's all good on my end, then it should record well.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I didn't mean for it to go on this long, but I guess there was a lot to talk about and appreciate it very much. We're looking very much forward to opening in Rancho Bernardo. I can't wait to see all of you guys again and see you getting into your suites and seeing how you decorate them. And it's good stuff. So I'll sign off. I appreciate your time and I will click here and stop the broadcast, and we'll follow up with you on email.
Rick, thank you very much. That was awesome. Great,
Okay.
great content.
Okay, good, Carrie. Thanks. You guys have a great night. Good night, Diane. See ya.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, bye, guys.